Hey, what's up? Welcome back to Freedom 350. Today, I want to go over the tragic events that happened in Chicago, which is the police shooting of a 13-year-old, Adam Toledo. Now, initially, when the story first started getting out there, they took the body cam footage of the police officer involved, and they took one still frame that showed the 13-year-old Adam Toledo showed his hands up, and that was the moment right before the cop shot him. If that was the whole story, then yeah, that'd be pretty messed up if a kid is surrendering to a police officer with his hands up and the cop shoots him anyways, right? But that's not really the full story. First off, Adam Toledo, again, was only 13, but he was out walking the streets with some other adult who was armed past midnight. I forget what time it was, 2, 3 in the morning, something. But that adult was seen in security cam footage actually shooting at other people with that gun that he had. In Chicago, they have a little system where they have microphones placed throughout the city, and when it hears a gunshot, it can triangulate the roundabout area where those gunshots were fired. So police were notified, they go to the area, and they see Adam Toledo and that adult that he was with. They approach them, the adult, and Adam Toledo decide to run for it. As they're running for it, the adult gets tackled by the one officer, and the other officer keeps running after Adam Toledo. And the officer's saying, stop, 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 right? Well, then he stops kind of abruptly, and he turns around, and as he's turning around, his hands are up. I can't have both hands up, obviously, right? But he had his hands up, and then the cop shoots him. Initially, the one thing that they left out when they started complaining about this shooting, calling it a bad shooting, was the fact that Adam Toledo had a gun at that point. In my opinion, what it seems to have happened is that when that adult and Adam Toledo decided to run for it, the adult passed that gun off to Adam Toledo because Adam was a minor and wouldn't get that much time for having that gun, right? So that's why that adult kind of gave up and got tackled first, and Adam ran for it to get rid of the gun. As he's running, the cop sees that he has it in his hand. It's hard to make out, just watching the body cam footage, but the officer, his eyesight's a lot better because, our eyes and brains kind of work as like a 3-axis gimbal, kind of stabilizing the image. Well, he sees and identifies the kid has a gun. And as he's running, he's telling him to put it down. And Toledo is still running, and he comes up on a break in the fence on his right side there. And that's where he decides to just give up and put his hands up. But again, the officer already knows that he has a gun on him. He can see it in his right hand. And as Adam abruptly stops and is going to put his hands up and surrender to the police officer, he does it in a way that can be misconstrued as him turning to shoot the police officer. I have my SIG 365, P365 on me. I'm going to show you kind of like what Adam did, okay? I'm going to clear it. Clear. Got to be safe, right? So I'm going to be facing the other way, and I guess I could possibly flip the video to show you the same angle that Adam Toledo was at when that officer was coming up on him as he was stopping, okay? So Adam Toledo was at this angle roughly, right? And he had the gun behind him, as you can see in the still frame. And he stopped at that break in the fence for a reason, to get rid of the gun. And as he's turning forward to raise his hands and face the police officer, he chucks that gun behind the fence. And as he chucks the gun behind the fence, I'm not going to throw this, but I'll put it down. So as he chucks the gun, he raises his hands and turns at the same time. That's not good, because if you watch the body cam footage at full speed, it's like a split second that cop has to decide whether or not he thinks he's thrown the weapon or if he's going to turn and shoot that cop. I don't think anybody would have taken that chance. It's a 50-50 chance. Those really aren't good odds, and I wouldn't take that chance either. Now, recently I've seen a meme going around. It's kind of like a comparison between Adam Toledo and the Kenosha hat trick kid. You guys should know who that is, right? They compare the age, Toledo being 13, the Kenosha hat trick kid being 17. They say Toledo had his hands up, which he eventually did, and the other one had his hands on the AR-15 at the time. They point out that Toledo stopped and complied although in my opinion he did that incorrectly, and that the other one from Kenosha killed 2 people. And then they got to compare race. Adam being Latino, the Kenosha kid being white, saying that Toledo was shot by a cop and that the Kenosha kid is being praised by cops. This meme, graphic, whatever you want to call it, it's a good example of a false equivalence. It's taking 2 separate incidences and trying to compare them to each other like they're the same thing. They're not. The Kenosha hat trick kid was assaulted by a pedo, then by a skateboarder, and then by a person in a paramedic hat holding a Glock that ended up getting his bicep evaporated by the Kenosha hat trick kid's AR-15 that he was carrying. It's a pretty impressive shot, but you can't compare the 2 at all. I shouldn't even have to explain why you can't really compare the 2. Ultimately, the person that killed Adam Toledo was that adult he was with that handed him that gun to get rid of it so that he would get caught with it. That guy is ultimately responsible for the death of Adam Toledo. Adam Toledo also bears some responsibility in his own demise because he was out doing dumb stuff with an irresponsible adult doing whatever they were doing, shooting people, shooting at people. Where was his mom? Where was his dad? I don't know if this is true or not, but it seems like his mom was the only one in the picture raising him. And she probably is working quite a lot and doesn't have all the time in the world to keep up with what he's doing and who he's hanging out with because she's working so much to support him and raise him. I mean, that's a big problem in the Black American community as a whole. And it's going to be one of the topics that I get into here on this channel. Not now, but a little bit later. So that's pretty much it on my thoughts on the Adam Toledo police shooting. If you guys liked it, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to subscribe, please subscribe. Head on over to the Facebook page. That's where I will be posting all the videos from Freedom 350. If you'd like to support the channel, you can head on over to ballisticink.com and go to my section on the website where I sell the t-shirts that I've designed and communal designs that we all sell. It's mainly for my other YouTube channel, 50%. This is my political and social commentary channel. But if you like guns, go over and check out my other channel, 50%. You'll probably like it. But with that, I think that's it. So I'll see you guys next time.